Hi guys, and welcome back to Dimitra's Dishes. So today I'm going to teach you how to make brie and phyllo two ways. It's the perfect appetizer to share with friends and family, especially when you're entertaining. Around this time of year, it's just a lot of fun. There are people always coming over your house, staying over, you're having parties, maybe you're bringing something to a party. This is the perfect and simple appetizer to make, and it's really, really tasty and elegant. I'm going to show you two ways to bake brie and phyllo. One is going to be with my cranberry sauce that make sure you check out in another episode as well, and I'll put it up in the cards. And the other way is a Greek style sort of with figs, walnuts, and honey. Basic, easy, simple, delicious. So all you need is just a few ingredients. You need some phyllo dough, which if you've been watching my show for the past few months, you're going to know that I use phyllo dough a lot. It's easy to find. You can find it in pretty much almost every supermarket these days. If not, you can go in like a local Middle Eastern supermarket or a Greek specialty food store, Mediterranean specialty food store, and nowadays you can find everything online, so I'll put a link down below where you can get it online. But the main thing is that you have to defrost it in your refrigerator overnight because it comes frozen, and then you want to leave it out either the night before, a couple hours before you use it at room temperature, so it'll be super, super simple to work with. You're going to need some honey. You know, my favorite is Greek honey, so I'm using that. Some dried, actually they're not dried, they're dried figs. They are dried figs. And then you're gonna need some chopped walnuts, really good quality brie. I like double cream brie. I feel like it's really, really creamy and tasty. Well, all I did was I just cleaned off the briny, the top part, which is like the top coating that's all around the cheese. I don't really care for that too much, especially when it's baked. I could eat it when it's raw, but when you bake it, I like to take as much of the rind off as possible. I have some melted butter, some fresh cranberry sauce, like I just said, and then some apricot jam. I'm going to begin, and you're going to see how simple and easy it is to make. Make sure that your oven is preheated at 400 degrees, so that way it's ready to go. So you want to take a baking pan and line it with some parchment paper because we're going to just work directly on here, so there's hardly anything to clean up afterwards. So you need around 5-6 sheets for each phyllo pastry. So all this leftover phyllo dough that you have, just roll it up and keep it wrapped in a kitchen towel until you're done, and then just wrap it in some plastic wrap, airtight, and put it in your refrigerator so it could be ready to use for the next time. If not, if you leave it out exposed to air, it's going to dry up and crumble on you, and you won't be able to use it again. And we'll work with one sheet at a time. You're just going to take each sheet and we're just going to drizzle butter all over it. No need to brush, it's going to melt and go throughout the whole pastry. Just like that. Now for the brie with cranberries, I'm going to put a little layer of apricot jam on the bottom. I feel like apricot goes so well with cranberry. And because my cranberry sauce is not so sweet or not as sweet as I like it to be, in this recipe, I'm just going to sweeten it up with this apricot jam. You can use fig jam too if you like. And then we're just going to put the piece of brie right here on top of the jam. And then we're going to put our cranberry sauce. Already, isn't it looking really nice and festive? The colors are just beautiful. Now we're just going to put this all together and fold it like a little package. And as we're doing that, I'm just going to brush butter. I'll put this aside. And then I'm going to do the same thing with these 5-6 layers. I'm going to butter them. Drizzle butter through every layer, and then we're going to move on to the next step. Next, I'm just going to put my piece of brie right on top. in the center. And I'm just going to chop up some of these figs. Cut the tips off. Now, if you want to, they sell fig jam in most supermarkets right by where Brie is sold. You can substitute the fig jam for this if you really wanted to. But I just like the chewy texture that these figs lend to this recipe. And next, we're just going to put some of these walnuts for crunch. And then a nice drizzle of Greek honey. We're going to do the same thing. We're going to fold all the layers over. We're going to create a pretty little package. Now with the remaining butter, we're just going to brush this really generously all around so that when it bakes, it not only has lots of flavor, but it becomes nice and golden brown. So I'm going to bake this at 400 degrees for 25 minutes or until it's beautiful and golden on top, and then I'm going to show you what it looks like when it comes out. So our Brie and Phyllo 2 ways baked, and it's out of the oven. This one is much neater than the other one. The honey and the walnut one came out pretty perfect. The cranberry one oozed out a little bit. Maybe there was a tear in the phyllo. Totally fine. It's important that you allow them to cool a bit before you slice into these. I would say about 15 minutes or so that way the cheese can set a little bit. Otherwise it'll ooze out. And we're going to cut into this one right here. It should be pretty cool, hopefully. And you want to do this with a serrated knife. Look at that. Almost looks like a slice of cheesecake with cherry topping on top. That is so beautiful. Let me have a taste. Oh my God, that's perfect. You get the creaminess from the Brie, the crisp phyllo dough, the tart cranberry sauce, and then a little kick of sweetness from the apricot jam. Make sure you give this one a try. And let's go into the other one with the honey and walnuts. It almost looks too perfect to cut into. Beautiful. Look at those figs. And I would even just drizzle a little bit of honey on top of this one. And if I had cinnamon, I would put a dash of cinnamon on top of that. I feel like it would really go nicely together. Let's take a bite of this one. Can you see how pretty that looks? I really can't tell which one I like more. This one, very, very smooth and rich from the figs and the honey and the walnuts. I don't know. They're both so delicious. Make sure you give them a try. The link is always in the description box down below. It takes you straight to the website with all the exact measurements of all the recipes that we make on here. Give this one a try, you guys. Elegant, pretty, delicious, festive, everything you want in an appetizer around this time of year. Let me know what you think in the comment section down below. What do you want to learn how to make next? Share pictures with me on Instagram and Facebook, and I'll put my favorite picture of that you share on the intro, where I put before each show how we have the intro with the music. I'll share my favorite picture on there next time. Have a very happy holiday season, and I will see you guys next time. Bye, everyone.